What if I told you that for the next 20 days, you could make your body stronger, tighter, and visibly more athletic without chasing endless reps? Most people think isometric holds are just rehab drills, or warm-ups, or punishment at the end of a workout. So they shake for 20 seconds, get bored, and assume they do not work. That is the mistake. Because when isometrics are done properly, they can build strength, improve neural drive, and support muscle growth, especially when the muscle is challenged at longer lengths. But there is a catch. The gains are highly angle-specific, so random holds will not transform your body. Smart holds will. And let's be honest about the title. 20 days is not enough to become unrecognizable, but it is absolutely enough to feel and look different. Why? Because the earliest strength gains from resistance training are driven largely by neural adaptations, and short-term isometric training studies have shown meaningful increases in isometric strength and rate of force development in as little as 2 to 3 weeks. That means better tension, better posture, better body control, and better force output can happen fast, even before major muscle gain shows up. So in this video, I'm giving you the only 7 isometric holds you need if your goal is to build a stronger looking body in the shortest realistic time frame. These are not random. They cover the full system: quads, glutes, chest and shoulders, abs, lats and biceps, grip, upper back control. Let's get into it. Hold 1. Wall sit, or isometric wall squat. This is where most people should start. Why? Because the wall sit is simple, brutal, and effective. It lights up the quads, challenges your glutes, forces you to brace, and teaches you how to stay under tension without moving. And unlike a lot of flashy exercises, it is incredibly accessible. There is also a reason isometric wall squat training keeps showing up in the research. Large meta-analytic data found isometric exercise training ranked very highly for blood pressure reduction, and isometric wall squat was the top sub-mode for systolic blood pressure reduction in that analysis. So this is not just a leg burner, it is one of the most validated static holds out there. How to do it right: stand with your back against a wall, slide down until your knees are around 90 degrees or slightly above if needed. Feet flat, core tight, low back gently supported. Now hold, not casually, actively push your feet into the floor. Think about spreading the floor apart. That turns a boring hold into a real training stimulus. Common mistakes: holding too high, dumping all the weight into the knees, putting your hands on your thighs, or forgetting to breathe. This hold teaches suffering, but more importantly, it teaches tension. Hold 2. Split squat. Hold. If you want a hold that changes your legs and glutes fast, this is it. The split squat hold is one of the best ways to build unilateral strength and stability without needing heavy loads. And that matters because one leg at a time exposes weakness instantly. Your front leg has to stabilize, your glute has to work, your quad has to stay on, and your core has to stop you from wobbling. Biomechanical work shows split squats place meaningful lower extremity muscle demands under load. And EMG research comparing hip thrusts, squats, and split squats confirms split squats meaningfully challenge the glutes too, even if hip thrusts can produce higher peak glute max activity. How to do it right: step into a split stance. Drop until your back knee is just off the floor. Front foot flat, front shin roughly vertical, torso slightly forward but controlled. Then freeze. Your goal is not to survive with a sloppy posture, your goal is to own the position. Common mistakes: taking too short a stance, letting the front heel lift, twisting the pelvis, or leaning so far forward that the hold becomes unstable. If your legs shake, good. That means your body is being forced to organize under tension. Hold 3. Glute bridge hold. Most people think glute training has to be dynamic. It does not. A hard glute bridge hold can light up the entire backside when you do it correctly. And that matters because glutes do more than make you look better. They support hip extension, pelvic control, posture, and force transfer. Bridge research shows strong glute activation in bridge variations, and single leg bridge work has shown meaningful activation of both gluteus maximus and gluteus medius, along with high hamstring contribution. That is exactly why this hold can change how your hips and lower body feel so quickly. How to do it right: lie on your back, feet flat, knees bent. Drive through the heels and lift your hips until your torso and thighs form a straight line. Now stop there. Squeeze the glutes hard, ribs down, no overarching the lower back. Common mistakes: lifting too high and turning it into a spinal extension hold, feeling only hamstrings, or letting the knees cave inward. If you want more glute, think tuck pelvis slightly then squeeze. That one cue changes everything. Mid-video reminder. Quick reminder: if you like fitness content that actually explains why things work, like the video and subscribe. Most people are either overcomplicating training or doing random workouts with no real progression. You're learning how to make simple things brutally effective. Now let's move into upper body tension. Hold 4. Push-up. Hold this this one is underrated. Everybody knows push-ups. Almost nobody respects the hold. But if you pause in the right position, especially a few inches above the bottom, the push-up becomes a full-body tension exercise. Chest, shoulders, triceps, serratus, core, all on. Push-up literature consistently shows strong activation of the pectoralis major and triceps across variations, with serratus anterior also playing a major role, especially in push-up plus style actions. That is exactly why this hold builds such a dense, athletic upper body feel. How to do it right. Get into a push-up. Lower under control until you are just above the hardest point, usually near the bottom. Now hold. Elbows at roughly 30 to 45 degrees. Core braced, glutes tight, neck neutral. Do not sink. Common mistakes: hips dropping, elbows flaring, shrugging the shoulders, or holding too high where the challenge disappears. This is not a rest stop. It is a fight for position. Hold 5 hard style plank. Not the lazy plank, not the 3-minute social media plank, the hard style plank. This is the version that actually changes your core, because the goal is not time. The goal is tension. Plank research shows that isometric core exercises can be progressed meaningfully, and different plank variations alter how much the rectus abdominis, obliques, and lumbar muscles have to work. In practice, that means a shorter, harder plank is often far more productive than a long, sloppy one. How to do it right: elbows under shoulders, legs straight, glutes squeezed, quads tight, ribs down. Now imagine pulling your elbows toward your toes without actually moving. That turns the plank into a full body contraction. Common mistakes: just hanging there, letting the low back sag, looking forward and cranking the neck, or chasing time instead of quality. If your plank is easy after 30 seconds, you are probably doing it wrong. Hold 6, pull hold, or top pull-up hold. If you want a hold that makes your upper body look stronger fast, this is the one. Because this is not passive hanging. This is active contraction. You are pulling, squeezing, and holding your body in the strongest looking position of a vertical pull. That means lats, biceps, forearms, upper back, scapular control, all working together. And that is exactly the kind of tension that builds an athletic-looking torso. Pull-up and chin-up research consistently shows high activation of the latissimus dorsi, biceps brachii, and other upper back muscles. So when you hold the top position under control, you are forcing those muscles to stay locked in without momentum helping you. How to do it right: grab a pull-up bar, pull yourself up until your chin is over the bar, then hold. Chest tall, shoulders down, elbows pulled in, abs braced. Do not crane the neck just to keep the chin up. Own the top position. If needed, use a box or a band to get there. Common mistakes: shrugging into the ears, kicking for momentum, holding with a loose core, or turning it into a sloppy survival position. This hold teaches you how to actively control your body weight, not just move through it. Hold 7, active dead hang. This is the final piece, and it matters more than most people realize. Because a body that looks strong usually has one thing in common: it can control itself while hanging, bracing, and resisting gravity. The active dead hang trains grip, shoulders, upper back, and scapular control. And unlike the pull hold, this teaches you to create tension from the bottom position where most people are weakest and least aware. Hangboard research shows dead hang training can improve grip endurance, and grip endurance itself is a major performance factor in climbing. You do not need to be a climber to benefit from that. Better grip and better shoulder control carry over to rows, pull-ups, carries, and overall upper body stability. How to do it right: grab a pull-up bar, hang with your shoulders gently down and back, not shrugged into your ears. Brace your abs, squeeze the bar, keep the body still. This is not a limp hang. It is an active position. Common mistakes: passive hanging with loose shoulders, swinging, holding your breath, or letting the ribs flare. This hold builds the kind of upper body control that makes everything else stronger. How to use these for 20 days. Here is the key: do not just collect exercises, run them like a plan. Because isometric gains are angle specific, exercise selection matters. And because early improvements come fast through neural adaptations, consistency matters even more. Here's a simple 20-day structure. Day A: wall. Sit 3 rounds. Push-up hold, 3 rounds hardstyle plank, 3 rounds active dead hang. 3 rounds day B split squat hold. 3 rounds each side, glute bridge hold, 3 rounds pull hold, 3 rounds active dead hang, 3 rounds alternate A and B for 20 days. For most holds, stay in the 20 to 40 second range. For the hardstyle plank, 10 to 20 brutally hard seconds is enough. For the pull hold, even 5 to 15 quality seconds can be plenty if the position is honest. Rest 30 to 60 seconds between rounds, and here's how you progress. Add time, make the leverage harder, increase tension, or improve your position. Do not just last longer, own the hold better. One more important note: these holds can absolutely improve how your body looks and performs in 20 days. But if you want maximum muscle growth long term, you should still combine them with dynamic resistance training. Isometrics are powerful, but they are not magic. They are a tool, a very effective tool, especially when used with purpose. Final thoughts. If your body feels loose, weak, unstable, or stuck, isometric holds can clean that up fast. They teach tension, they expose weakness, and they force muscles to stay switched on without momentum hiding the problem. That is why they work. Not because they are trendy, not because they are easy, but because they make your body earn every second. If you run these 7 holds consistently for the next 20 days, you should feel tighter, stronger, more stable, and more in control of your body. Not fake transformation, real transformation, the kind you can actually feel. If this helped you, like the video. Subscribe for more science-based fitness content, and comment below which hold destroyed you the most: wall sit, split squat, push-up hold, plank, pull hold, bridge, or dead hang. And if you know someone who thinks they need a fancy program to get in shape, send them this video.